I have screwed up everything. There we go. Time to slap some buttons, throw some hands, Guilty Gear Strive. I have entered into Season 2 and played a few games here and there just to see what the new ladder feels like. Not like they changed the ladder or anything, but like what it feels like on the ladder right now. And yeah, it feels good. I'm kind of okay with it. I'm still adapting to not having the shield as like a get out of jail free card. But otherwise, kind of feels pretty samey. Like a lot of the same shit works for the character that we've been using, so I got no complaints so far. But this is gonna be our first stream on the new season, so we'll see how she goes. Let's see if we can break these barriers and get way up there in the ladder.
Are you ready?
This I've been seeing a lot of is Kai's. Kai has shown up a lot, and a lot of it is because of the buffs. He got buffed, and people want to play the most buff up character. Not much my fellow butt cheek, other butt cheek. Skeleton Daddy. That didn't work on open. Recovery on hit, eh? Cool. I'm doing alright. Pretty good day, new phone day. Can't argue with that. Kind of adapting to it, waiting for a new case to come in. A little annoyed that it didn't come with like a charger per se, but they're trying to sell accessories. So, what can you do? Uh-oh. Hey, Fred. Oh, come on. No! A little trouble with some commands there. Gonna get some worms from Walmart. That's a whole lot of phrases I've never heard in my life. No! Oh! Feels good. I don't even have the counter up yet. But yeah, the pre-interview nerves, they never go away unless you're the one performing the interview. Sounds like a good reason to grab worms. Nah. His commands are fucking me right now. There we go. Uh-oh. Shit. Yeah, you'd hate to show up at the wrong one, eh? Something screwy is going on here. I'm missing a lot of my timings. Yeah, I still have a noise gate on my mic. I most certainly do. Oh, we're at 2 wins.
Duel 1.
Why, is something wrong? All right. Ah, I fucked up. He knew I was gonna do that too. Open threshold's 25. What is with my timings today? Come on, man. Fuck. Or negative 25, whatever that one is. Sure. Yeah, it's the 25, so. Oh my god, Fred, chest this shit on your own thing and press the record button, man. Is that better? This is what it sounds like at 22. God damn it. Like, you know, Fred, I want to tell you something. I watched that video, and here's the problem I'm having with this. This is not a cheap fucking microphone. This is a $150 microphone I'm sitting at here. I don't need to make it sound better. It already sounded fine. It was only an issue with the bike thing. Like my dad, man. If you turn it to not visible, does it work? Check, check, check. Ah! Yeah, okay, good. It's no longer there. Like, it's good for bike mode, but this is a fine mic. What is your problem with my sound, Fred? This is what I want to know.
Are you ready?
Let's go! Alright, Saul, what do you want? Fuck. Fuck. Fucking deletes my 6P. Great. Where did the timing go on that, man?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Do not touch my shield, sir!
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Which part was funny?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, yeah. How you doing today, Slash? Ah! Being a dick, Saul. The guy's soul got nerfed! Fucking bullshit. Like, how did I lose Mega Fist Potbuster, man? Did I lose, like, frames on this? Is that what happened?
Saul wins.
Did I exit that by accident? This has just been it's been the weirdest thing. I haven't, both Kai and Saul are what I played against today, and oh, I guess that was the end of the games, eh? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, and both of them were able to just quick punch their way out of fucking the follow-up on that. What the fuck, bro? Obviously, they didn't fix the lobbies for Season 2.
Are you ready? Map. Duel 1. Let's rock.
I am not having a good command day.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Fair enough. On the plus side, I did switch my button that I use for Roman cancel to avoid accidental Roman cancels, because I did that a lot in training mode today. I don't know what was up with that. Oh yeah, the wall, like, even though you can't use it defensively anymore, it is a different beast altogether, man. Fair enough.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Whoops. Pressing the wrong button. Wrong direction, rather. Were they trying to 6P their way through this fight? Yes. Fair enough. I'm kind of glad that it doesn't disappear on the big hit anymore, man. It feels so good. And combo with it so much more now. In what way? Are you referring to the punch kick combos or counters with the extra slowdown?
Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2.
Cool. Fair enough. One attack too early. Okay. I am flopping commands big time today. For sure. Wrong button. Fuck. Change the button and you press the wrong thing once. Fuck. I knew it would happen once too.
Duel 1. Let's rock. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Wrong button. Let's go for low attack. This one. That's what I was aiming for. Fair enough. Fuck. My bursts have been denied big time lately. Well played. Well played. Gotta give him that on that Roman cancel there.
3. Let's rock.
Shit. Be bad at this. Come on. This is a war between me and this Geo.
Man. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Sick, get up. Alright. Good night, kiddo. See you in the morning. What's the next page?
Duel 2.
That there.
Let's rock.
Okay, check in the mirror. Have a good night. Come on. Fuck off. Throw it into her. Throw her into it. Ah, oh, missed. Caught her on it. Oh my god.
Are you ready?
Dude, it's so good. A big part of it is the slowdown at the back end, right? That makes a huge difference now. Where it just kind of lingers for a little bit extra, holds on, and holds its position.
Let's rock.
We saw that, right? I'm not crazy?
Let's rock. Slap.
I think this is the Testament I played against earlier. They're not having a good day. Do I, though? No, I knew that Testament has got some pretty bad reactions on the shield. I knew what I was allowed to get away with. Or you're referring to the fact that I just got to keep using it the way I have. I don't understand. I have a feeling I'm playing against that chip over there who's lingering. Now, is this just at my end, or is Twitch having a weird thing with the chat badges? Am I crazy? Because, like, yours was fine, and then all of a sudden, you just stopped having them. Yeah. Like, you just got to block against it and make sure you block what they're doing. Because that's the other big thing is if they get if I decide to get close and I'm not just like throwing specials at you, I'm either dusting or sweeping, right? Depending on how you're blocking. So. Okay. I thought maybe like my thing was showing up wrong or Twitch was having some kind of error or whatever.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, Ram Lethal, come on now. Give me a break here. That's not what I wanted to do, but it'll okay. He knows his frames.
Duel 2.
Guy's good. This guy's keeping me on this floor for a bit.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Get out of here! I'm gonna get fucked on this round, I'm sure of it. Shit. Damn it. Right. I gotta turn off the sound on this thing.
Duel 1.
I don't know how. I didn't know I was blocking already. I panicked. That was very bad.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Come on! Just want me to do this. Notifications off. Never mind. We'll just deal with it for now. Did they get moved up a floor, or is it whatever? Okay. Wasn't even paying attention.
Are you ready?
It's not the same one that time, but what is going on here? You know, we're just
Are you ready?
Git Gud. Ah, God damn it. Here we go.
Mankind knew that they cannot change. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Just a second. Change position to avoid that. Okay. Love you.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
What are the odds that this is a guy who got beat by a lot of Axels who's like, I'm gonna play Axel now, all I gotta do is slap buttons.
Mankind Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, you lucky cocksucker. No! Tried to get an extra grab in on him. Didn't work. Not there, but before the wall break.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Wrong button. Oh. I missed a grab on that, but I'll take the dub.
Are you ready?
Fucking Kais. Alright, is this the Kai that I can go up on? Or down? That I get beat up on? Oh, I go up on this one. Oh, get the quick. No! Again it happened. Damn it.
Duel 2.
Damn it, I'm getting no time to fucking get the flick ready. Alright, buddy.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Battery.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
That was risky on his part. Alright, he's not the guy I got to go up on. He went up on me. Okay, I think we were both in about the same place. I gotta pop to the washroom. I'm gonna be right back. All right. I continued adventure as the menace of the 9th floor.
Are you ready?
Ooh, Leo. Gotta read my situations. That's all I gotta do. Read properly. Learn how to read. Don't be game illiterate.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Fuck!
Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Slap. 貴様の敗因は俺と戦ったことだ。
My joystick is being weird and I was checking it out there.
Let's rock.
My wall's bigger, your wall's broken. Yeah, he made a weird decision on that one.
Slap.
I mean to catch one of those for a while. Fair enough. Yes, he does. He copied. Ugh. Flipping coins on the 9th floor. I mean, in his defense, every time he's on the ground, I'm mega fisting. So it's like 9 times out of 10, I'm mega fisting. 9 times out of 10, he's good off just dragon punching me. Like, I should have learned how to fucking read it, not worried about what he's doing out of there. So. How is there not a...
Are you ready?
like a switch that I'm missing on this? Yeah, this guy's name's 789. Honestly, yeah, I should have just not challenged it, let him do it, and then tried to counter grab in the air.
Mankind knew that they cannot cheat. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Why do I keep challenging Vikings on the open? Okay.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
My reflexes are way off today. Go! What did they think was gonna happen there?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, the real buff is fear. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm bad. Not that bad, though. Yeah, I've seen a lot of failed jump dashes over. I've seen a lot of fail, like, attempts to counter out of it. And really, it's just our, like, I think the only true, like, way past it is, like, RPS you're blocking against my dust sweeps, right? And get that, oh, 789 again, poor guy. Get your green buffs or green defenses ready. Like, map that shit, bro. You can, but you also run the risk of, like, I've caught a lot of people jumping over and it's like, okay, well, I either grab you in the air, you're Heavenly Potbuster, like, I can't believe, as a grappler, how many options you get with Potemkin. Yeah, as soon as you're blocking, it's it. You're blocking it. You are blocking it, and there's no way around it. And you're hoping that you're not getting command grabbed. Rude. Gonna be a Nago! Unless that guy bouncing around on the floor decides they're gonna. Fair point.
Are you ready?
That must have been what happened. Yeah, while you're blocking it, you're right. I was thinking to myself, like, but I caught that one guy and then threw him into it with the potbuster, right? But I think they were still backing away from it. Because then the pot buster went up over it. It was still traveling. He dropped, and then we threw him into it. Which was rude, I want to point out. Guy is just here to waste my time. Like, if you don't want to play against me, then don't fucking play against me. You know, hit cancel and walk away, dude. Unless it could, I'll check the station. It could be the station. This is the weirdest thing. So, my new phone's a Google Pixel. Google, the guys that made Android. Seems like a reasonable expectation to, you know, have a lot of things that most Android phones have. But for some reason... Whoop. Is this Nago playing with me? Or is he just like... Uh-oh. This is a really weird Nago.
Duel 2. Let's run.
Okay, this guy's making some kind of point somewhere. Have fun. There we go. Anyway, it doesn't have that, like, one button...
Are you ready?
That guy wasn't going to play with me anyway. Toggle notifications. Google Pixel.
Are you ready?
And, like, yeah, for some reason there's that... Oh, never mind. Okay. They're all, like, manually dealt with. It's weird. It's a pretty good phone. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's version of Android. Of course, everybody's got their own version of Android on their device. I guess we're up against the Leo.
Are you ready?
And, like, I'm just kind of adapting to it, but there's not, like, that one button where it's like, turn off my notifications.
Duel 1. Let's run.
that's a way around it. That was the wrong button. Garuda Impact's not going to stop that projectile. Looking at the right side of the screen would be a good idea as a way to get your shit information correct. Okay, that was very sloppy on my part. I gotta kind of get focused again. No!
Duel 2. Let's
He DP'd, but you're good on it this time. Fuck! Imagine throwing so hard.
Duel 1. Let's
What is with the flick right now?
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Knew he was gonna do it. Fuck! Like I deserve every second of this.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
I had like 2 flicks in that reset. Just completely get ignored, man. That's frustrating.
Are you ready?
Thanks.
Duel 1.
I knew better. I'm blaming that, letting that DP hit me. Holy fuck. This guy's trying to make a statement of some sort.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Come on! Do the...
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Come on! What did I do?
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Good, get the fuck off. I'm having so many issues with fucking commands today.
Are you ready? Mankind. Duel 1. Let's go. Duel 2. Let's
Jerk.
Duel 1. Let's
Holy fuck! Guard low when I tell you to guard low, you piece of shit. Fuck!
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Okay. Finding our legs again. Finding our legs again. That's all we had to do.
Duel 1. Let's
That cross up every fucking time.
Let's rock. Slap. 作戦に支障はない。よし、次の報告を待つ。
I don't know. I got nothing for that, man. Yeah. They could probably smell the throw coming. Because I was going to. It's a me problem. Like, is it a controller problem or is it a me problem? It's a me problem. The problem is sometimes I get into this forward lean that pushes the joystick forward, right? And then I think I'm doing one thing and it's because I'm moving in that direction with my hand. But like, so for instance, like you get on a diagonal, the controller shifts every so often and you think you're pulling to the left when in fact you're pulling down left, right? Or you're jumping by accident. Just a matter of keeping the fucking controller level.
Are you ready?
Fuck. I don't want to love the subhuman self in this bitch. Ah, she clicked. Oh god. Ah, she said yes. Yeah, like sometimes you just get forward and forward and more forward. I'm pointing you at me.
Duel 1. Let's
Whoop! Yeah, that was gonna end poorly one way or another. Yeah, the situation is to confuse me. Fuck off! Oh my god, Melee, you're so annoying! You get it, you're aggressive. You know the fucking combos. Stop it! No!
slap. Duel 1. Let's go.
That was a tight round.
Duel 2.
Fuck. Thank you very much. I do the grabby grabbies. It doesn't always go well for me. Usually with little girls who with living blonde hair from Russia. Or wearing Russian hats anyway. Everybody's favorite mix-up opponent is me. Motherfuckers. Come on, man. My commands are giving me such a headache today. Missed input after missed input. It's reminding me of like day one in this game. How are you doing today, Aurorius? But 11 matches or 11 games left. It's gonna be that meal, yeah. Okay, fine. Rotten station anyway. Fucking, they're all rotten. Maybe it's me.
Are you ready?
It's a chip. God! Why is it all the small, quick guys? Compared to Potemkin, they're all small and quick. Oh, now it's not a grab, eh? Yup. Sure. Come on. There it is. How you doing today, Fansley?
Duel 1. Let's
Boofed.
Duel 2. Let's
Oh, jeez, okay. Now, are you talking about the first time or the second time? Because this guy likes to get pot-bustered. It's also a chip. Their health is technical. Fair enough. He got me on that one. He used Chip's strength against me.
Duel 2. Let's
No! Okay. Go again. Bruh. Did me dirty. He was like, no, 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 no. You got, I got the one out of it. I'm out of here. Alright. Looks like there's very high likelihood that if I don't get matched up, it's going to be a Baiken. Or it's just going to be this Bramlethal who comes at me. Oh, no. Yep, it's going to be a Baiken. Rotten Station.
Are you ready?
Alright, big bonky swords with cute feet. Let's go. He saw his health disappear. He's like, I'm going to do that too. Not like I'm good. It's...
Duel 1. Let's
If I catch him, I catch him, right? Bro. Okay. Okay. I have done the try to grab on the wake up. Oh, he saw that coming, eh? Sorry about that. You. Are you gonna chuck him into it too? Yeah, of course we are. That insult to injury.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
This Ramlethal's not having a good day, man. I feel sorry for them. Like, they walked into this, it's like, fuck, man! What is this Potemkin on? Fair enough. Shit. Okay. Okay. Sorry, dude. Sorry, man. Yeah. I gotta say, the addition of the green shield to a single button is amazing.
Are you ready?
Dude, that Ram was just happy to be on the 9th floor. I ruined it for them. Just like, look at me. I'm on the 9th floor. I'm almost at 10, baby.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, you're lucky I'm bad at commands today. Let's do this proc. Okay. I'd rather whiff to know that I'm doing it. Come on. Are we having one of these days? There we go. Did that used to work? Did yellow Roman cancel used to work on the shield? The risk that comes with the Beyblade now is such a godsend. I fucked all of that up. Because I've caught a lot of people with that. Like, oh jeez. Apparently, yeah, it's minus now. Beyblade's minus frames. It's not good, or it's not as good. Like, you really got to catch them, or you're kind of boned. It was the first, like, it was the one thing that I remember first day of the new season. Hotashi was like, oh, okay, this is our bad side. Everything else is fine, but this is the one downside. And it's like, okay, so them like constantly spamming it is less likely too. I'm Do it again! Fair enough. Yeah, his 2H is slightly nerfed. Come on. The number of fights I have lost to shit commands on my part.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Fuck! Didn't burst. God, I'm losing to an 8th floor. What the fuck?
Duel 1.
Come on. This is such a mess. hell, Jason.
3. Let's rock.
Right, it's not invincible on open. Jacko and Amelia, you deserve each other. Come on, go fight each other. Fuck! Who's this? Who are you?
Are you ready?
Testament. Okay. Gilligear! The name is Gilligear.
Duel.
Gilligear?
Let's rock.
Okay, fair enough. Oof. Come on.
Duel 2. Duel 1.
A little. Fuck, come on! That was the first time I noticed the damage reduction on the Mega Fist. This wall is bullying.
Duel 1.
That was maybe a touch too aggressive. Panic throw. He's getting good. Alright, what do we got? What do we got?
Are you ready?
Big, meaty slap fight. Wank, wank, wank. What? Look, when I'm on, I'm on. When I'm off, I'm way off. As long as I'm getting my commands in at a proper amount of times,
Mankind news.
oh, we're good.
Duel 1.
I pressed punch sooner than that. Come on now. We're even.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Fair enough.
Duel 3.
Shit! Forgot he had full fucking tension meter on that one. Squeezed it out.
作戦に支障はない。よし。Duel 1. Let's rock. Double KO.
Wah wah.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Shit. Here we go.
Duel 1.
Oof, whiffed. Yeah.
2. Let's rock.
You guys are a little bit more technical than I am.
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Fuck. Honestly, he deserved it. He played way better than I did. Used more of the available tools. Gotta go water my plants before I go to sleep. Hot tomorrow. Holy shit. Lost track of time. Dripping in sweat here too. Feels like I just been on the bike for 3 hours, man. Yeah, I don't think I feel bad about missing out on that Kai. Had enough of that fucker today. Ever. Forever. Tired of him. Give me that Nago, is it?
Are you ready?
Okay. Do we have content? I think I have at least 1 or 2 watch laters saved up. I gotta double check though.
Duel 1. Let's rock. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Oh, I ended up watching that that heavy metal one. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but yeah, that's like super DMCA. Because they do actually like sample some of the shit that it's like, you know what I mean?
Duel 3. Let's rock.
It's okay. There's a version that talks about a similar thing we can probably go over. Why am I playing like shit against Nagos today, man? Like, I'm noticing how different they are from what I'm used to, and yet I'm still like fucking throwing this shit.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Duel 1. Let's rock.
That's what he was trying to do.
Duel 2.
Fair enough. Fuck! Stop sucking, Jason! Me and my joystick need to have a conversation. Like, the number of dropped commands I had was just fucking ridiculous. Oh. We were still up on the night, right? Let me double check. Let's just check. We are 30 and 27. We are what? We're still kind of doing okay. We're over 50, which we are going to do this. To start setting up. Or oh. Rain. I was like, is this starting to rain? It's just the train. Just the train. Alright. Oh, I had some fun stuff in the watch later. I don't know. Go. What do we got? Ah, this one. That. We're gonna grab the Sugar Punch design. Heavy metal and gear. Uses just the Guilty Gear music, which should. If it does, I actually haven't checked because Amber usually does the upload for me. But I should check if we do get claimed before the Guilty Gear music. I doubt that we do. Oh, and we have there's a couple of DNF characters that have shown up that I don't think I've been sharing properly on the Discord. I suck. Yeah, okay, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. Okay. Boy, dead. Alright, we're gonna start a little goofy. Because we know we'll get down here. Chatting. Yeah, there was I know there was the one that Max made a joke about looking like. Then there was, and I think that was the launcher, I want to say. No, the launcher was the girl. That was the. We'll look him up. We'll look him up. I think we actually follow. Do I follow the DNF Duels YouTube. Is it DNF Duels? That's DNF Duel. Okay, I don't know why I'm not subscribed to this channel. My bad. My bad. All right, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Okay. So we'll start with this. Now, I think the troubleshooter is 9 days old, so a little bit more of the week. Okay. Yeah, for as excited as I am about DNF Duel, you'd think I'd be, subscribed to their channel. These are all quick anyway. See if I can't clear up some resources. Probably don't need this. I cannot wait till I upgrade this goddamn monstrosity. Holy shit. Alright, so we have the Swiftmaster. Whoa, hold on a second. Let me just up my noise gate a bit. Or let me just lower my personal volume, my speaker volume. You don't need my speaker volume. You can just go with this. Yeah, they're fast with a pull-in, which scares me. Oh my god. Stop it. Bullshit. Try this again. This is going to be the chip of this game. I can just feel it. I can just feel it. It's just like, great. They touched me. Game over. They know what they did. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. We know what you're doing over there, Arc System. And fucking Nexon. But it looks like they effectively made Annie. Like this, I bet you this is what Annie looks like in Project L. So, and let's you know what? I don't know if we looked at the troubleshooter, but I'm not just looking at the troubleshooter. Or maybe I am. Yeah, because I think I actually shared that thing in the FGC. Let me check the Discord to see if I did that. See, what's killing me is every new character. Okay, but the bear blows fire. Annie is fire based. Come on now, you can see the easy comparisons. Anyway, what scares me, what is really scaring me, is every new character class that they seem to be showing. Is just like that. Yeah, okay, I did share this in the FGC. They just seem better than everything we've seen already. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of doom and glooming, but this looks like DNF Duel might have the same problems that DNF might have, where it's like all the new character classes that they're throwing in are just like so much better than the base classes that you get in the free-to-play mode. I just hope that that doesn't translate that way into like the main game. Although I gotta see how because I started getting used to the grappler in the beta, and I wouldn't mind hoping to work in the game. Let's see if we... Let's see if he does it in this one. We're not going to watch this whole thing, but this is for comic relief. Yeah, we will have to see. Like, DNF Duel's not even out yet. I'm doom glooming on a game that's like we've touched the beta of and we haven't seen half of it.
So this dropped yesterday. I'm a little late, right? I'm slightly late. So they put this character into DNF Duel that looks really dumb, right? If there's one thing I'm very disappointed with over the past 24 hours has been the fact that they put this absolute stupid looking shithead into DNF Duel. Like I'm down with like some interesting and weird character designs, but I think personally that what they're doing with this troubleshooter character is truly stupid. I can't believe the devs would be this daft, right? I say they're absolutely daft.
I saw like the little there were some hard cuts that I think he put on Twitter that were so much funnier. It would zoom in on his face.
Daft. I can't believe they put a character.
I don't know if they're gonna do that here
into a game, but here you go. You know. That was kind of cool. That's sort of cool.
Like his sword is big and his gun shoots. Like that's what I hate about this character.
Can't keep up the facade. God damn, he's got shades of Hitman in him.
Anyway, obviously, I don't know if you're catching on to the joke, but Max is making fun of how stupid he looks. But he looks like Max. So, right.
So I'd like to talk about Guilty Gear.
Let's do this one first.
And you guys, you know, the worst character in Street Fighter, back to flop his way back onto the roster. Oh, I can't wait to see how awful he is. Oh, wait, what? What is this? What, how? Why? Dan? Dan Hibiki, the godfather of all joke characters. I feel like he doesn't really need any introduction, does he? There's nothing I can say about Dan to tell you what he's about that can't already be said by Dan himself. He is a joke, both in-universe and by the game's own metrics. A early fighter with crappy moves and a huge ego to boot. In the simplest sense, Dan is the
I found out Dan was a joke by accident. I'm gonna say that right now. And it was give me a second. It was one of the Street Fighter alphas, and I want to say it was Street Fighter Alpha 2, which was the first of the alphas that I played. And I'm like, ooh, who's this Dan guy? And I was like, okay. Kind of looks Ryu Ken-ish. So I'm starting to play. You know, he's not doing miserable damage, but you know, it's like, okay, he's doing all right. Yes, this cost me quarters to discover, by the way. It cost me money to discover that this was a joke character. And while I'm playing, I'm like, okay, on the little arcade panel, it says Dan has this move that uses the same thing as the Hadouken. And I was like, all right, maybe it's a projectile. Let's do it. So I input the command, and that piddly-ass little fucking Hadouken comes out. I'm like, excuse me? I almost fell, by the way. What the fuck was that? sitting there. I'm 16 years old. I don't get a lot of money because I didn't have a job at the time. But I'm just sitting there like, well, no, I wasn't 16. I would have been 14 when this one was happening. So I'm 14 years old. I'm like, fuck, man. I just spent allowance money for that book. Ah!
Perfect blend of character and mechanics designed to do
that happened.
Thing. Tell a joke. The joke is that he's awful, and he's awful because he's a joke. So what the hell is going on in Street Fighter V? Why does Dan have so much tech? Doesn't that defeat the point of his character? For many characters, Street Fighter V sees old favorites entering a new stage of their lives, and naturally this means there's a fresh opportunity to revisit Dan and see how he's evolved. But therein lies the problem. If you make Dan better, is he still Dan? Street Fighter V gives us a more interesting answer. It's less about Dan becoming stronger, but what Dan has become stronger at. He still has all of his classic staples, a crummy fireball, a not at all invincible uppercut, an actually sort of okay flying kick, and one additional move that he aped off of Ryo Sakazaki. The animation of his normal attack shows in greater detail how hilariously inept his form and technique is. But the thing that enables Dan to do all this crazy shit is his V skills, both 1 and 2. And if you weren't aware, both of his V skills are taunts. It's the one thing that Saikyo Ryu excels at more than any other fighting style, and now Dan has learned to weaponize it. Dan's gameplay
Weaponizing his shit talk.
you to start taunting in circles around your enemy in order to pull off his craziest stuff. But if it seems like this makes Dan too good, there's a caveat. Every time Dan taunts using his V skill, he's also giving the enemy meter towards their V trigger. That means the enemy is
He's
more likely
pissing
to
them off. You know, I've never touched Dan since that fateful day in Street Fighter Alpha, except for memeing my buddies when, you know, my buddies are clearly not very good at Street Fighter, and they're playing that. They're playing with me. So, like, but that is an amazing piece of design where it's like, I'm taunting you, you're pissing me off, I'm taunting you, haha, hey, what's up, asshole? He's taunting them the whole fucking time. And then they're like, you know what? I'm done with you. Beef! But yeah, the only times I've ever used Dan since that one fateful day in the arcade was to completely embarrass my buddies.
Using a big V trigger combo. Dan is literally giving the enemy the tools they need to beat him. This actually captures a side of Dan that the previous versions didn't. He's more than just a guy who fights bad. Dan is also the victim of his own hubris. This is actually similar to his gimmick in Puzzle Fighter, where he will only drop red blocks. No matter how well you play him, all you have to do to defeat Dan is wait for him to defeat himself. Dan is his own worst enemy, and Street Fighter V's Dan is the perfect version of this. The joke isn't gone, it just evolved. That's all for today's mini. Don't forget to give this video a like.
That's amazing. That is a very cool observation. That this is obviously a guy who's put way more work into Street Fighter than I've ever put. Because Street Fighter V, I seriously just put into some work with Guile, Zangief, and Sakura. Sakura was just like, hey, I'm memeing, but she was actually half decent. And Guile was just the meta at the time. And of course, Zangief, when we came back to the game not too long ago. Alright, next up. Let's talk about the essence of metal and Guilty Gear Strive. Through this deep dive I've been going through with the music of Guilty Gear, first of all, I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't know about this series until, like, a little while ago. Like, I've always heard about it, but I didn't know about it, if you know what I mean. I did not know that it was heavy metal of a fighting game. And I'm officially pissed off at everybody. Everybody that didn't tell me. Even if you didn't know me, you're all to blame. This is everybody's fault. Oh, fuck off with it.
Guilty Gear Strive is here, and a lot of you have asked me to talk about it. And I hear you guys. I want to talk about Guilty Gear Strive. But for a while I've been struggling to find anything particularly meaningful to say about it. Like, I could talk about how good the animation is, but you already know that. You don't need me to tell you how gorgeous this game looks. Instead, I'm going to try something more thorough. I'm going to review Guilty Gear Strive. But what the heck is a fighting game review anyway? A checklist of a game's features
Yes, there
and
is.
an assessment of whether or not they work?
As he gets into it, I'm going to kind of pause and add my thoughts on it for sure. This is going to be a pre-watch.
It's more like a buyer's guide than a review, and I don't think that's a constructive way to look at a game. I also don't want to talk about fighting games on a purely mechanical or technical level, although I expect to dive into specific things like mechanics as a matter of examination. I am not a competitive player, and I never have been. I'm just a guy who has played fighting games for his entire life and has only been aware of the FGC and competitive fighting games for about half that time. And while the longevity of any fighting game will always rely on its competitive crowd, I would like to offer a different perspective of the game other than its purely technical or competitive elements. I'd like to review Guilty Gear Strive as a piece of art. Which sounds like bullshit blazing, but let me explain.
Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna let him enter his thesis of this
art posits the
video.
idea that the interactivity of a game is central to its artistic merit. The blend of aesthetics, mechanics, and theme will come together to impart a message or meaning behind the entire interactive experience. However, the discussion of video games as art only ever seems to extend towards games that are deliberately trying to be art, for better or for worse. Fighting games are competitive games by nature, so the intended interaction is focused purely on its player versus player aspect, rather than any sort of narrative experience. It would be like trying to decipher the meaning of Connect 4. But you know just as well as I do
That Prison Break game I gotta play, I can't remember what it's called, but it's made by the same guy that made It Takes Two, and I want to give that one a try.
Into a fighting game, so I think it's only natural that art comes out of it as well. So I won't be looking at just the art, and I won't be looking at just the gameplay, but I will be looking at the Guilty Gear experience as a whole, how the two come together to express what Guilty Gear is about. So what is the smell of the game? For starters, Guilty Gear isn't a game about the subtle and introspective nature of sword fighting as it relates to Zen Buddhist philosophy. It's, well...
It is ass kickery. There is nothing subtle about Guilty Gear Strive. It's catch an opening and go.
Guilty Gear is the fusion of high-octane anime and face-melting heavy metal put into your hands to create battles that hit the energy of a rocket-powered freight train. It is the essence of heavy metal distilled into a fighting game. But that's true of nearly every Guilty Gear, isn't it? What is it that makes Strive different? How does Strive attempt to capture this feel despite having a dramatically different combat system? I'll open this analysis on probably the single most contentious aspect of Strive, its gameplay. Unlike most fighting game sequels that build upon the fundamentals of its predecessors, Strive decided to completely rebuild the game from the ground up, even remaking something.
This is something I'm not going to have a whole lot of say in when comparing to previous Guilty Gear games. I get Guilty Gear Strive in isolation, in its own little bubble, because I personally am not influenced by Xrd or XX or X/R or whatever. Dude, they have weird naming conventions in these games. So ultimately, I look at Guilty Gear Strive in a bubble of, this is the coolest looking shit I've ever seen, and then realizing after the fact a lot of shit.
as basic as Gatling combos that let you chain normal attacks together in a hierarchical sequence. Gone are the days of converting a random low kick into a dizzying sequence of launches and relaunches and wall slams that still somehow ends in a reset, or punishing a whipped backdash with a dust loop that deals like 90% damage. Instead, Strive focuses on a ground game of exchanging pokes, where upwards momentum is exchanged for forward and back momentum. Tension is reserved for converting stray hits into big moments where a player seizes the opportunity to deal huge damage. Trading exchanges where players are weighing their options and resources against one another, seeing where one can push the offense or counteract the others. In other words,
say the line, Bart.
Neutral-based footsies and zoning. Yes, I'm aware that the modern fighting game of the last 5 or so years has become neutral-based footsies and zoning.
Yes.
And that the discourse around that topic decries the oversimplification of fighting.
So I love the chaos side of things with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and so it's high complexity, high chaos in like Guilty Gear Xrd R2 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Skullgirls. Blaze Blue is not super complex, it's chaos, it's in the middle of simple. It's definitely not honesty. Like, what is honesty in this referencing in this case? That's what I want to know. Anyway.
Fighting games. And while I am not a competitive player by any means, I think it's within my ability to interpret what the intended goal of Strive's gameplay is.
I guess it's the relative, like, how many times you say what the fuck as you get further to the left.
Early interviews about Strive,
how much bullshit blazing you deal with.
Ishiwatari stated that one of his goals wasn't to make Strive easier, but to make Strive clearer to understand. Older Guilty Gear games were chaotic and fast. The systems were so flexible that skilled players could achieve some absolutely insane stuff. And while it's fun for the player who is able to execute all that, it's less fun for the player on the receiving end. Getting crushed by such overwhelming offense essentially turns a fighting game into a single-player game, where making a single mistake results in me watching my opponent kill me over the course of 20 seconds while I can't do anything to escape.
Oh, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 sounds about right.
Set play, or some devilish combination of both.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was, if everybody is broken, nobody is.
Attempting to prevent that single-player scenario, but without compromising the blistering offense that gives the Guilty Gear its identity. The wall break mechanic is a good example of this. Instead of keeping an opponent locked in a corner unable to escape the oncoming pressure, an attacking player is instead encouraged to go for that wall break, cash out with big damage, and reap the benefits of that positive bonus. On the flip side, it means both players return to neutral, and they must make the approach all over again. This
observation for me, I didn't think about this because I didn't play the previous Guilty Gear, but the wall break in general in a fighting game is really cool if you kind of return to that neutral position and you reward the player for it. Guilty Gear, you're rewarded with damage on the way out. And I think that's they found a good balance on that one.
The offense, disengage and re-engage all over again, creating a flow where both players have equal chances to strike at one another. Or maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Maybe by the time this video is finished, the game will have developed optimal set play strategies that are more effective than big wall break combos. I mean, Zato exists, and Milia still has tandem top reset, so I might just be completely off the mark. But I think that
most characters sort of situation
clashing is important to understanding the feel of Guilty Gear Strive. In a way, it's meant to emulate that.
The way I see it, I don't think a fighting game should just punish you for just getting hit, and then all of a sudden, like, at peak competition, it shouldn't be first one to get a hit finishes this round. Like, I don't think it should be that.
The anime feel of two fighters rushing at each other at full power, clashing against one another over and over, while also capturing the rush and driving power of heavy metal music. That might also go some ways to explain Strive's absurd damage scaling. While I've always been a fan of stupid, long, insane combos, there is something distinct about the way combos feel in Strive. Instead of stringing together a complex sequence of dozens and dozens of attacks that start to scale into microscopic levels of damage, each individual hit has a certain weight to it, creating a rhythm to combos that's unique to Strive. Every single hit has significance, as though each hit is the kick of the drum or the crash of the cymbal. In this way, pressing buttons and doing combos feels like performing a solo, beat for beat, a synthesis of music and fighting.
This I can definitely agree on, and it's very similar in ways that, like, a lot of the compliments I make or the comments I make especially when I was playing Sekiro, is I said Sekiro is a rhythm game in the fact that you are watching the rhythm of the attacks to get your parries off. You're going parry, 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 attack, 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 parry, 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 attack, 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 attack. Waiting your turn to do the thing. And that's the thing is, I've been watching the rhythm of opponents' attacks when I'm trying to find my openings. I've been wrong a lot. I am bad at rhythm and music, even though I used to try to drum. So, but yes, yeah, exactly. If you're not doing like hundreds of combos, it's easier. It's more open to more people. Yeah, exactly.
A symphony of destruction, if you will. The reason this is important is because it translates directly into each character's movesets. In order to fit the new pace of Strive's gameplay, character movesets needed to be changed dramatically, with even familiar moves finding new purpose. This too was a topic of contention, with people describing Strive's characters as being gutted or oversimplified. Technically speaking, this is true. Characters have less tools in Strive than they do in Xrd. But having more tools is not necessarily
Looking at that move list for Ramlethal from the previous game stressed me out. Like, I was just looking at that like, people played this fucking game?
binary quality of good or bad. Remember that the goal of Strive is to be easy to understand. If your goal is to drill a screw into a wooden board, then you're not going to need all of these. Like in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, characters are laser focused to a specific playstyle, with their toolsets trimmed and focused to achieve just that, taking a less is more approach to fighting game design.
So one thing I've recently found out, I've tried some more Grand Blue, going a little bit on a tangent here, and I stopped on Ladiva for a reason. The common complaint is that they have nerfed this boy into oblivion, and that's why I am not getting dubs. I was 1 and like 78 before I finally said, okay, I think it's time to give up and take a new approach to this game. And that one, I think my opponent lost to lag because I got a super off by accident.
Strive even provides these little character cards that summarize what each character's intended playstyle is. Soul is a ruthless striker, attacking with blistering offense that doesn't give his opponent time to breathe, so it's not like he loses this goal by removing Riot Stomp. Kai is designated as the almighty all-rounder, so his gameplay is designed around application of the shock status to properly utilize all of his tools, instead of this
he got all-rounder
that turned him into a more complex
by the time they got
character. Meanwhile, Mei and
before he gets into the music, they did. He doesn't talk about it in this video, but Mei's song, as a guy who really likes heavy metal, that fucking song manages to capture the essence of Mei and still keep it in that pop rock sort of situation. In that I am pissed off while I'm listening to that song because I know there's a little dolphin girl coming across the screen coming to fucking kill me. Like, they have nailed the essence of Mei in Guilty Gear Strive in the music that they play while you're playing against Mei. It's fucking bonkers and genius.
This also goes hand in hand with expressing a character's personality through gameplay. Axel being a zoner is more than just fulfilling a function. It's part of his easygoing, lackadaisical approach to life where he'd rather chill and keep his distance than be aggressive and confrontational. Anji's new moveset lets you deliberately choose when to activate his armor, dancing through your opponent's offense and embodying Anji's more artful approach to combat. You can especially feel this in the two brand new characters, Nagoriyuki and Giovanna, who were built specifically for Strive. Nago is an honorable vampire samurai, which is reflected
Gold Lewis was
directly
also
by his
built for this
gameplay.
game, right?
He
But
is
I guess
patient
this was probably
and
made
methodical,
before the
with
first
slow
DLC came out.
movement and big damage that forces the opponent to respect his range and power, all while Nago must balance out his offense to temper his vampiric hunger. Giovanna is a Secret Service bodyguard with a lazy attitude who prefers to solve her problems just by kicking things as hard as she can. As a result, her moveset is surprisingly simplistic, with no special gauges or mechanics, and your success with Giovanna relies on utilizing her superior speed and frame data. This is just one of many ways that the game really draws you into its characters, and while Strive is far from the first fighting game to achieve this, let alone the first Guilty Gear, Strive aims to trim as much fat as possible and give you a focused, refined version of these characters that even a novice can experience just by playing the game.
And look at how I've kind of adapted to the game. Like, yes, I've played fighting games, but I feel like I've adapted to this game fairly well. There was some learning curve for me early on, but like I look at Xrd and just get stressed out. Because I've watched gameplay not too recently, and it's just like, oh my god, how did you guys all do this? I don't even want to imagine what those poor kids in the 6th grade were dealing with. Of course, then again, they were given nothing. They were just like, learn the fucking game.
I feel like I don't get to talk about music in fighting games enough, but I personally think that music is just as important to a fighting game's design as its characters and animation. Like any game, a fighting game's soundtrack is integral to establishing a game's aesthetic identity. A game like Skullgirls uses jazz and swing-inspired tracks to fit its 1940s diesel punk setting.
Yeah, and Skullgirls... Okay. And yeah, that jazz setting also works for Skullgirls' sort of classic animation style, too, where it's kind of like Cuphead in that manner.
Whereas a game like Soul Calibur uses grand sweeping orchestral tracks to establish the feel of a dramatic sword fight on the stage of history.
Yeah. It's definitely... Oh, I've always loved the fucking... Soul Calibur, when you're playing the game, the soundtrack just works for it, man. It just fucking works.
But it goes a step beyond that. By using specific instrumentation, tempos, and melodies, fighting game music can be used to express ideas about characters through sound alone.
I love these fucking labels. Like, this music says, I am a cat. The other music said, I am big. Alright, hold on. I do have to get through this one first. Alright, before we get on, I gotta go to the washroom. We'll be right back, though. I'm gonna say this. Captain America's theme could have been a modern age Guile theme. Like, just hear me out.
The best fighting game music can do more than that. They can tell a character's whole story.
God, I love when fucking epic metal lines up with that kind of operatic shit. Alright, this guy's really kind of nailing these
More
points.
than
I
any
gotta say
other
that.
fighting game, Guilty Gear is defined by its music just as much as its gameplay and characters. Much like its visual style, Daisuke Ishiwatari's music for Guilty Gear is neither 100% metal nor 100% anime, but a unique synthesis of both, combining hard shredding with beautiful soaring leads and graceful chords.
Now, as he goes through this, one thing I want to point out, I'm a heavy metal fan. But Daisuke? Dude's on another level of heavy metal fandom. Like, there's some deep cuts he makes when it comes to, like, music comparisons that I've heard in that other video that you shared. And I'm just like, holy shit, I never would have picked up on that.
And even though the genre is strictly metal, Ishiwatari is flexible enough to use different kinds of rock and metal to fit the style of each character.
Yeah, he pulls some cuts, man. I was thinking, I don't think he covers it in this video, but Potemkin specifically, Armor Clad Faith, like that is very Godsmack like I don't know if you've heard of Godsmack or heard any of the music, like not their newer stuff, some of their older stuff. Their new stuff is super poppy. But yeah, if you listen to some older Godsmack, you can definitely like hear a comparison between Godsmack and Armor Clad Faith, the Potemkin music.
Guilty Gear Strive takes the strengths of Guilty Gear's music and pushes it to the next level with one simple addition: lyrics. Naturally, this isn't the first time we've had a Guilty Gear with lyrics. Heck, this isn't even the first time we've had lyrics in a character theme. One could make the argument that lyrics shouldn't be in regular battle tracks, that the sparsity of lyrics really brings out special moments when
Bullshit. Carry on.
lyrics do appear. I'm sure we've all experienced this at least once in other games. And while I do agree that methodical use of lyrics creates some of the most iconic moments in gaming, there's something particularly special about having lyrics for Guilty Gear songs. Guilty Gear was already exceptional in expressing its characters through visual design, gameplay, and music, but the addition of lyrics to character themes adds yet another layer of expression to an already rich musical experience. The addition
What
of
happened to that
vocalists
one?
lets Ishiwatari get even more experimental with his music, allowing songs to emulate a wider variety of rock and metal styles.
You could just generally refer to this style as like someone pointed out that blessing us part sounds like Bazinga. Yeah, that's Daisuke's command of the English language. This could just be you could just say power metal, but yes, Dragon Force is definitely a band you could compare to. I think Power Wolf is another one that you could use to very, very clearly see how Roar of the Spark kind of comes to be. That's one of those weird things. Like when you get too deep into heavy metal, and it's like you stand back and let me see if I can find the heavy metal flowchart. Where it's like you ask yourself a question. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Oh, yeah, no. This one? Oh, that's an evolution chart. Oh, hold on. It's what kind of are you? Wrong two. Here we go. This is like the classic old one. Is the song good? Is the vocalist on coke? No, or yes, and you follow this to find your heavy metal thing. So to get to power metal, it's like, is the song good? Yes. Is the vocalist on coke? No. Can you understand the lyrics? Yes. Are the lyrics about dragons? Violin? Power metal. Right? If there's no, if there's no violin, it's power metal. If there's violin in it, it's folk metal. Right? I was like, are the songs about dragons? No. Is the vocalist angsty? Classical heavy metal. Is the vocalist angry? You can get the thrash metal. This is pretty good as a flow chart for metal. But anyway, yeah. So like this falls under power metal, and power metal is the weirdest word you've ever heard in your life, because you'll hear power metal and then you'll listen to power metal. It's like, this is a bunch of songs about dragons and fairies and fantasy. What the fuck is going on? Meanwhile, there's like an epic guitar solo going on, and the singer is singing about the distant brownies or fucking running through the field. It's like, hold on. I think Dio is like the father of power metal, because it's just like Rainbows in the Dark is one of his most popular songs. Like, hold on, this is Ronnie James Dio? Fuck off. I get the reference here, but I think Sabotage would have been a closer reference to album compare. Check Your Head's not where Sabotage was. Yes. This one is one of my favorite songs in the entire, like, I hate playing Ismelia, but this is like the best track in the entire game. Part of it is like, it's got that first of all, Aisha's lyric, like the female singer, they get to do it. Got it. But anyway, let's, like, if you listen, it might even, like, maybe not even Sabotage, but closer to maybe Ill Communication, What You Want, right? Like, that's kind of where they're coming from. Either way, it's that, like, Brooklyn white guy rap sort of sound. But this is like, imagine Dream Theater with I think Nightwish might be the actual band. I haven't listened to any Nightwish now, but like, holy shit, this is the best theme. Also, if you have Spotify, the album is on Spotify. Fucking listen to it. The whole thing's good, except for May's theme. Fuck May's theme.
About each character. Axel's theme, Out of the Box, tells his whole story of being pulled in and out of time, and only now he's finally grasped some control over his life.
Not much, no problem, even if the world doesn't change. I'm a clown that don't have shades. My password is out of them.
Ramlethal's theme, Necessary Discrepancy, uses odd rhythm.
Dude, when I first heard this one, I was like, what am I listening to? And the way he's about to describe it.
And weird instrumentation along with disjointed lyrics in different languages to reflect the perspective of an alien being looking down at the world and struggling to find her humanity. And by the end of the song, it actually comes together into a recognizable chorus as she discovers heart and compassion.
Yeah, this one had a really good, like, it's a really good theme that
Other songs are capable
comes
of
together at the
expressing
bridge.
other layers about characters that somehow aren't present in their design, animation, or gameplay. Leo Whitefang, a character who is largely about sheer bravado and fearless machismo, has a song about the survivor's guilt he feels as a king who has led countless men to their deaths in battle in the name of his country.
trying to think who this, like, kind of a Queen sound to this.
Hell, Potemkin's song is the first time I've ever acknowledged him as an actual character. I could easily go on forever about every single one of these songs, but this isn't a song review, and I am not a music reviewer. And even though each of these tracks are great to listen to on their own, you also have to remember that these are also the tracks that you fight to, lyrics and all. This is what creates the full experience of
Yeah,
Guilty.
so that's
How
one
he
of those
expresses
things that
his
catches you off guard with heavy metal is you're listening to the rhythm, you're listening to the voice, but then you listen to the lyrics and it's like, what's going on here? The one I always like to bring up with people who are uninitiated to heavy metal is the song Run to the Hills. And you listen to it, but you don't, like, when you first listen to music, you don't listen to music. You know what I mean? And Run to the Hills is a song by Iron Maiden. And, like, you know, you hear this heavy metal, you hear the guy screaming, you're not really listening to the lyrics. This is a really pumping song. And, like, somebody's got to run to the hills. It's like, oh, somebody's coming. Who is it? What's going on? And it's actually a song about the natives in North America being invaded by Europe. Right? Like, especially once you hear the lyrics, like, oh, fuck. And, like, the lyrics are not subtle about it in any way, shape, or form. Right? And then, you know, that, like, it's always, that's the kind of thing that leads to the misunderstanding on music, right? The Twisted Sister heavy metal, like, thing in the States. Oh God, Dee Snider. When Dee Snider went to Congress to talk about heavy metal and his song, the song lyrics themselves were referencing, Hidden in Plain Sight, exactly. The song lyrics of the song that they were bringing up with him was referencing surgery that he'd been under. And, you know, they're like, this is very violent music. They're like, okay, that's an interpretation. I wrote this song with the lyrics intended on that, but, you know, music's up for interpretation. That's your interpretation. Maybe the problem's with you. And it was funny because Dee Snider went in there with, like, I feel like I've talked about this on stream, but I'm going to find it because you have to see. That's the one. Like, this is how he showed up at Congress. I got no time for you, and he was probably the smartest person in the room. So, anyway, carrying on.
Visually through animation and design, physically through their gameplay and movesets, and musically through their themes and lyrics. Playing as Leo Whitefang is more than just seeing his kingly posturing and charging ahead with non-stop aggression. It's also understanding that hidden grief beneath his courageous facade and realizing that maybe he has such an unga bunga playstyle because he's choosing to cope with his guilt by hurling himself into danger and hoping he'll meet his death on the battlefield as some form of atonement. And also that his best moves are on Brynhilder's stance because he's literally at his strongest when he's facing away from his problems. The music and lyrics—
That is a deep read, by the way. Like, that is a hell of a deep read. If that was Daisuke's intent, what a read.
Of Guilty Gear Strive bring these characters to life in a full, complete experience that can't be done in anything else except a fighting game. To say that Guilty Gear Strive is a pretty game is a colossal understatement. Guilty Gear Strive has some of the most complex visuals and animation.
The character designs and the animation are what attracted me. The music came later.
In video games, period. I can't even begin to explain how they managed to achieve this level of pure graphical wizardry. Just look at it! Why aren't more people talking about this? Why are people so hung up on this stupid combo counter or the UI or... Okay, fine, we'll talk about that first. I personally don't like using videos to react to other people's opinions, but for a long time it felt like I couldn't ever talk about Strive without someone bringing up the UI. And this review would be incomplete if I didn't talk about it. But I'm not gonna say that this stupid combo counter or this lobby aren't awful, because they are. And I've had so many discussions about whether the UI is metal or not that I'm frankly sick of talking about it. But at the same time, I don't want to dismiss the idea that UI is important to game design, and that
UI is important. Dude, UI is a nightmare to make. If you want to talk about how many fucking iterations of UI you go through, I've got a game that's been released, and when I worked for 2 years on it out of many years that it was being developed. And in the 2 years I was there, I think I saw 7 or 8 UI changes. Complete overhauls.
Clever UI can be utilized to draw players into an experience in ways unique to video games.
UI is a nightmare.
That said, Strive's UI is fine. Stop freaking out, people.
Yes.
Okay, maybe the risk gauge can be more visible, but the game's UI isn't any less metal just because there's no chunky metal ball.
Yeah. So, right here. Some people... Okay, so this is right here where I get that people who think they're heavy metal know what they're talking about. Right? It's like, both of these are metal enough. Look at the B on the burst, right? The one down below is a little actually cartoony, if you ask me. The big B, rest of the word, fine. That, I think, as far as like a heavy metal feel, is kind of there. The big metal things, like heavy metal's not just about the metal. Heavy metal is just a way to describe how the music comes together and its birthplace, really. Like heavy metal has its birthplace in industrial complexes. Great, but that's not, the music, right? The music is itself. Anyway.
Bars. If I must say something in defense of the in-game UI, it's that it's taken a more grunge metal, ink and graffiti look more reminiscent of Japanese metal than of Western metal.
Yeah.
And even from the beginning, Guilty Gear has been a celebration of rock and metal from all ages, from all around the world. In a practical sense, a cleaner UI also allows the game to better showcase its graphics and cinematics, most of which happen during these seamless transitions with dynamic camera movement that a simpler UI provides better framing for. But the more important point is this. If you think that Guilty Gear is no longer metal for lack of chunky bars and menus, then I think you are overvaluing the aesthetic weight of Guilty Gear's UI. Is it iconic to the series? Yes, but not to the point where changing it will make or break Guilty Gear's identity.
This is chunky and like almost unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like even for something that's heavy metal, and heavy metal is chunky and unnecessary. Right? Like this is Slipknot. This is, I don't know. No, just a different heavy metal.
Is it iconic
Dragon
to the
Force,
series?
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not to the point where changing it will make or break Guilty Gear's identity. This game has so much more going for it that making a big deal over health bars is just taking away the conversations we should be having. Strives you
Truth be told, when you get to something like this kind of nitpick about the UI, you've run out of interesting and like cogent points. Because the people who are probably making that complaint were like, oh, the combo system, oh, they gutted all the characters. Okay, cool. But like they're all still good, right? And they're like, oh, the UI is not heavy metal enough. Like, okay, now you've run out of things. Like at this point, you have officially run out of things that are actually worth complaining about, to the point where you're now picking nits. I've picked nits before, but
stop freaking out. These lobbies can go to hell, though.
thank you.
Would you believe me if I told you that Guilty Gear Xrd came out looking the way it did as a result of graphical limitations? Xrd was revealed in May 2013, developed on Unreal Engine 3, 1 year before industry developers would be moving on to Unreal Engine 4 in 2014. On the eve of UE3's sunset, games looked like this. Which was thought to be the pinnacle of the engine's graphical capabilities. And then came Xrd, which not only showcased a graphic style never thought possible, but one that changed the world of animation as we knew it.
That is like, so to kind of go back in the time, 2014. Now we're talking, okay, give me a second, 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, I am 31. And I am in the industry at this point. Well, I'm trying to get in. Now, if I would have seen this, and somebody would have turned to me and said, this is done on Unreal 3, because I was about to punch that guy for lying to me. Like, at the time, Unreal 3, as he was saying, all those games that he showed us were made in Unreal 3. And like, that was just by default. Everything fucking looked like that. It was just like, we were even getting sick of it back then. Right? So, but then you look at this, the bright colors on the textures is just so popping. And like, I feel like the graphical, when you're going to talk about the graphical limitations, I feel like the shaders must have been such a nightmare to write.
And then came Xrd, which not only showcased a graphic style never thought possible, but one that changed the world of animation as we knew it. And yet, this was the result of compromise, of Team Red's artists being held back by the limitations of a graphics engine.
That's scary when a game looks like this and like, we really wanted to do more. Oh, is there? I would have to go look into that. That's probably like a 4-hour talk. I'm probably not going to be able to do that for a stream.
Not simply content with recreating the look and feel of hand-drawn animation, but elevating it to new boundaries. So it seems almost prophetic that here in 2021, as the industry is ready to move on to next gen and start work with Unreal Engine 5, Team Red gives us the graphical bombshell that is Guilty Gear Strive, the next evolution of 3D animation.
Okay.
But it might not
seem
like that much of a graphical leap to the layperson. It's just 3D anime again, but slightly better, right?
Now, he's gonna get into some pretty cool stuff about animation that I missed watching, until he kind of pointed it out, and I didn't really appreciate until he gets into it. There's some cool shit he's about to talk
Strive
about.
is more detailed, but I think
And a
the
Slash,
real
I know you're
strength
really
of
into
Strive's
animation, so you're gonna dig
is
this.
in a combination of subtleties and nuances that give these animations a real sense of sophistication and complexity. For instance, let's take a look at Ino's stance from Xrd and Strive back to back. One might make the argument that Ino's Xrd stance is more animated, and you'd be right, she is certainly moving more, but what you're probably not seeing is how many individual moving parts are animated on Strive Ino's stance. Every single fold, lapel, belt loop, and even the brim of her hat are providing a cascade of subtle follow-through movement just as a result of Ino tapping her heel. Any animator will tell you that subtle motions are much harder to animate than dynamic motions. And if this is how complex the animation gets for an idle animation, it gets even more complex during attacks and movement. Take a look at how Mei's hat, sweater, and backpack jump up as she slams her anchor to the floor, or how Anji's sleeves, obi, and hakama all twirl behind him as he dances through enemy attacks. The relatively simpler character designs in Strive allow Team Red to actually animate more using less. The same level of complexity can also be found in Strive's facial animation. Not to say that Xrd was lacking in facial animation, their unique take on 3D modeling allowed character faces in Xrd to deform in ways that produced genuinely good facial expressions. But the way they achieved that was through a more limited animation style, relying on hard cuts and still frames with moving mouths, something more akin to the limited animation you see in anime. This might have been intentional, or this might have been a clever compromise due to the limitations of Unreal 3. But in Strive, that limitation no longer exists, and characters can emote with such intricate degrees of subtlety that you can catch something as minute as Nagori Yugi taking a breath as his mask recedes, or Axel's eyes lighting up with excitement when he meets someone new. And just look at this hair animation!
That is something I noticed too. It's like the way the hair moves in the game is very natural.
I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I talk
Or at
about
least
how
very
good
flowing,
Strive's
maybe not
animation and
natural.
visuals are. I legitimately believe Guilty Gear Strive has some of the best animation in video games, period, and that it ought to be recognized as such. I suspect it will be a long time before we see another video game that looks as good as Strive does. To take this back to the beginning of the video, I didn't want to call this video a review just so I could gush about music and animation for 20 minutes. I wanted to review Guilty Gear Strive as a piece of art. And to do that conclusively, I have to answer an important question. What is the experience of playing Guilty Gear Strive? What does this game offer to someone who is neither a hardcore fighting game player nor a Guilty Gear lore aficionado? What you get is the chance to experience the world and characters of Guilty Gear in vivid expression through music and combat. Which almost sounds disingenuous, as Strive is the capstone to a story that began in 1998. So obviously there's a ton of lore and context that would go over the heads of anyone who didn't read Strive's extensive lore library or watch its 4-hour story mode. So
Something I still have to do at some point.
what does this game smell like? As a piece of art, it is the ultimate synthesis of anime flair, heavy metal, and fighting game mechanics. It's a game that lets you live out the thrill of an anime fight with you and your opponent choreographing the action in real time, where characters express 800% of themselves with every frame of animation, every push of a button, and every beat and lyric.
This I think is
Strive
so.
gives you the
We're kind of at the end of the video, and I don't need to go on too much more. But this is kind of why there's always been an interest in like the back of my head and like making a fighting game, because you don't. When you some games you make so much and you don't get to focus on certain things. Just make them so expressive and make them what you want to make of them. And it's so easy to like tell the story that you want of the character, or like create the design that you had in mind. Right? That was your ultimate goal. So yeah, ultimately, these are all like points that I come across as to why I ended up like kind of slipping into Guilty Gear Strive and getting really interested. The fact that I keep wanting to get better and better at it, well, that's just a product of constantly playing it. As far as the future and DNF duels is concerned, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna fit that in the week because of how we have the setup right now, where we have the strict Git Good or Git Fits, which are basically my exercise days. Because guys get to watch me play video games the next. How we do it. But like Monday is always that variety day, but I do want to play DNF duels and kind of, if I'm really into it, like I am with Guilty Gear Strive, I might take it with like Mondays for a little bit, and then we might flip flop on them, or where we would usually start doing the reaction stuff, we kind of flip to the other game. It's all up in the air. I'm still trying to figure out how to fit DNF duels into everything, but it's definitely, the second it's out and in my hands, I'm playing it on stream as much as I can. Anyway, tomorrow, speaking of, Get Good or Get Fit, Dark Souls, and then Friday, Amber is back for Stardew Valley. Next 2 days. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. I will see you tomorrow night. Slash, thanks for hanging out. It was a pretty good day in Guilty Gear Strive tonight. Have a good one, everybody.